the thing I did want to start with.
Yes.
I mean, we could talk. Is there anything else you want to add?
God damn, man. I mean,
Trying to think,
like,
I was looking over the stuff again too yesterday and like this morning, and I was like, there's just so much. Like, there really is a lot, kind of.
I think it's funny that, one, we spent more time on this than anything else. Two, the amount of, like, carefully phrased things and, like, how, like, level-headed we're trying to be far exceeds what we did with fucking 9/11. Like...
God, for real. You know what? Like, we were talking about the fucking, like, going down the research of the rabbit holes. I made the mistake of wanting to do the fucking medical shit and, like, looking into the fucking stuff.
I went this whole time seeing very minimal, like, dick.
That's where I started. That's where I started with all of this. I was all like, well, you know, I got to get to the root of the issue. And I was like listening to other podcasts about like circumcision by itself and like watching videos. Dude, the fucking female circumcision shit.
I'm intentionally ignorant of female circumcision.
And it made me mad too that he was like trying to draw comparisons. I was like,
same thing.
Bro, what do you do? Yeah, it's like it is not the same thing at all, bro. Like this is like not good. Like it's very offensive.
I know enough to know it is not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same at all.
Oh, I could explain later.
If you know a little bit more about the specific culture practice, yeah, like please bring it up.
It's so hard though too because like I thought like that would be a good angle but then I started looking into it and then it's just like oh my god this is just like a surface level understanding of the thing. Like it's not even like worth comparing in a way because it's like the thing that he's referencing is not really the thing. You know, it's like he's just I read about this one time, so like this must be a fucking thing.
If two fucks like us think that we need to be careful about the way that we talk about this and that it's actually a complicated subject, you know that it is a very, very complicated subject.
And I think that's the thing. He and people like him complicate it more by like making it like drawing connections between things
where they don't exist.
Which should not be like on this. We shouldn't even be having these kinds of like conversations about it.
This is the clarity that you got by going straight to the dick butchering. Like this is like you went right to the source and now you've got that 1,000 eye view, 1,000-foot view and 1,000-yard stare.
I was like, dude, it fucking traumatized me. It put into context because, like, I used to think, what, like, okay, I'll get into it now. I guess my story about my grandpa. Did I tell you this?
No.
Yes. So, my grandpa. This is the Philippines in like the fucking 30s or 40s. So, like in the kids would. Like, in the Philippines is one of the few places outside the U.S. people get circumcised still a lot, right? But, so, like, in the Philippines, my grandpa had this, like, group of friends, and there was one kid they would call the doctor because his dad was a doctor. So this kid would steal, like, scalpels from his dad's office, and he'd circumcise kids during lunchtime. Like during recess on a log by the river. It was so funny because my grandpa told me this story and he was telling me like it was like, oh yeah, like me and the boys used to go fishing after school, like type shit.
Used to find some porn mags behind the old barn.
Yeah, I still remember the hearing the sound of the river next to us, and then
what the fuck?
So
it's just burned into my brain. Don't know why.
Dude. And then because he told us this story as a setup to this part. After recess, they knew whoever would come line up last was the one who just got circumcised. So whoever was standing in the front of the line would like stand up and like bend backwards and like butt bump the person behind them, so that would send like a shockwave back to the person at the end who just got fucking circumcised, dude.
Human beings are just like, there's something fucking wrong with us, dude. Nobody made these kids do that to. And then they're okay. They go from being kids to like doing this insane adult doctor thing, and then they're back to being kids again right after. Like, that's so fucking weird. That's so weird.
I feel like that story in and of itself does more for the intactivist movement than any issue or all issues of fucking Foreskin, man, dude.
They shouldn't be doing that. Maybe he got the possessed scalpel.
Haunted by some other ethnicity's ghost.
What did you tell him when that story was finished? What do you do to that?
Bro, I don't even remember like what. I don't know why he started telling that story.
He walked by a river.
Like, I remember us like sitting around like the dining table like after dinner or something like that, and he was like, "Oh, you know, back in the day, like after recess, like we," and like, cause he started with like that was the point of the story. Like, he was trying to explain this funny thing that happened, like that, like the lineup thing.
Damn.
But then he was like, "Oh, yeah." We were like, "Wait, what do you mean? Like, why would you do that?" And then he was like, "Oh, well, cause a kid used to like circumcise kids, you know, like."
Oh yeah, the log. Yeah, the log.
Like they do, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean?"
That's horrifying.
You want to do the intro here?
No, I feel I'm gonna cut this all to shit. This is the intro.
Who are we? What are we? What is this?
Welcome to Tales from the Gutters, the comic podcast where two completely normal circumcised guys.
No, I'm fully intact, bro.
Damn it! Talk about weird comics and the weird people who make them. I didn't want to ask, but I couldn't be sure because you're Filipino and you are from California. So in my head, I was like a 50.
Narrowly dodged.
You didn't show up for school on that day. You just didn't show up next to the law.
I got a note from the doctor because I was nice to him one time. He said, "Don't come to school tomorrow." And I said, "Okay, bad."
The doctor. Fuck. All right. Today we're just gonna talk about Batman. We're just talking about Foreskin because we're crazy. No, today's comic is Foreskin Man by Mr. Matthew Hess. Do you say Hess?
Yeah.
I think so. Mr. Matthew Hess.
I don't know what the right pronunciation is though with his like German heritage. You know, I'm not
Germanic.
sure.
Yeah,
I'm
yes.
not exactly sure which one.
We have covered a lot of amazing, famous comic book writers in the last couple weeks, and so today we thought we'd do something completely different. This man has no connections, no connections to the comic book world. This is just an insane pool that we found, and unexpectedly was a hell of a rabbit hole. Speaking personally.
Yeah, I am not the same after this one.
You're not the same? Wow. You're not?
I'm speaking from a place of privilege this episode.
I think so,
I
yeah.
will acknowledge that.
Yeah, when Isaac speaks, I listen.
I gotta hold space. You know what? I'm holding space for you right now, Isaac.
Yeah, why don't you hold your intact dick while I cry? All right, let's get into this. All right, the first thing you need to know about Foreskin Man is that it doesn't exist in a regular world of comic books. This thing exists purely as a piece of propaganda. We'll spend a lot of time kind of like theorizing what this guy's motivations were, how it came about that he put this thing out here. But right now, just talking about what are propaganda comics? What is this an example of? As long as there's been visual media, people have used it to try and make their point of view more compelling. In fact, many modern scholars believe that famous prehistoric paintings found in the caves of Spain are meant to depict roving bands of violent bison, painted by Paleolithic Spaniards who didn't think they should be canceled just for speaking their mind and trying to have an honest conversation.
Hashtag free speech, dude. I mean, with comics in the, I guess, more modern era, right? Before the internet, comics were cheap and they were everywhere. They were on newsstands and grocery stores, spinning racks, and they were an ample platform to proselytize all kinds of noble or heinous ideals to a wide audience. So you have stuff like Captain America punching Hitler in the 40s to Jesus freaks passing out evangelical chick tracts in the 60s to your annoying aunt posting a New Yorker cartoon that she pretends to get on Facebook. Comics have always served as a pop cultural shorthand for society to reflect on the issues of the time. And in 2011, there is no bigger issue than the lack of tissue. A man named
Jesus
Matthew
Christ.
has decided
Jesus.
that it was time to do something about circumcision in America. So let's talk about circumcision, Isaac.
Okay. We have spent a little bit of time. We have looked into the ongoing war between the intactivists and their big-headed adversaries. Looking into this, I couldn't help but think that I must have been going through the same thing my dad did when he was looking up COVID vaccines in 2021. And even surface-level knowledge of this subject makes you incredibly clear who is probably in the right about it. However, you find the strongest proponents of that view are so annoying that if me and all of my loved ones were to die, that seems preferable to let them take a W.
It's a classic case of the fandom, like ruining your enjoyment of the thing. It's like Rick and Morty at this point.
Basically.
So I do got to shout out the name Intactivist.
Intactivists. It's pretty good.
From a branding and portmanteau perspective, I respect it a lot. They like to lean towards terms like intact or natural as opposed to anti-circumcision, as not to quote-unquote normalize circumcision as a practice, right? So while its roots can be traced back to ancient Egyptian societies through biblical times and your namesake, Isaac,
Yes.
modern circumcision rates are a spectrum heavily influenced by culture and religion. Right?
This is the section where we might be a little bit mean to them, but you gotta, balls and strikes. Intactivists, on average, seem to be somewhere between Disney adults and hardcore anti-abortion activists. Like Disney adults, their singular obsession with a certain subject can't help but make you suspect that they've gone through an abundance or perhaps profound lack of painful experiences in their lives. Maybe not someone you'd be 100% confident with as your babysitter, but at the same time, giving them too hard of a time seems a bit like bullying. Like the anti-abortionists, they also have members with this habit of dramatic displays, propaganda theater. If you look up the intactivists, you can see men carrying signs, and one thing that they like to do is wear bright white overalls or some other type of white pants, and they'll have just a big red smear over their penis, or where it would be.
So stupid. It looks so fucking goofy.
Yeah, we know.
It looks like they're
We know.
advertising pads.
I saw one where like there was a group of them, and 4 of them looked like they had like the red dot, like a superhero logo, and then one of them looked like he went to Spirit Halloween and just smeared it all over. He was having way too much fun. Yeah, and, we didn't take a lot of surveys on this. Maybe those people annoy the quote-unquote middle ground of intactivists. Who knows for sure. Similarly to the anti-abortionists, their conviction and the righteousness of their point of view, coupled with the age of the victims of these procedures, can give their arguments a zeal and fervor not found in every protest movement. Seriously, This is more of a cultural note here. There is something about American Christianity that is obsessed with making life harder on ourselves. If you had told my zealot Protestant ancestor that you were a red-blooded American who circumcised his kids and hated abortion, the confusion about whether or not you were a Jew or a Catholic might have given you enough time to escape before he grabbed his pitchfork.
I do want to kind of break down the context for this episode. Will not be very much comic context, but more circumcision context. So this is neither a circumcision or a medical podcast, but I'm gonna do my best to summarize the foreskin versus against skin debate as well as I understand it. Globally, foreskin removal sits at around 38%, with the highest rates tied to religious practices for Jewish and Muslim men. Non-religious circumcision is prevalent in the US at a rate of 60%, which has been declining. So, possibly tied to puritanical ideas about sex and the genitals, circumcision in the States was also spread to places like South Korea and the Philippines. So as another form of neocolonial cultural imperialism, they took our foreskins and gave us spam.
You're welcome.
Pro-circumcision positions cite religious, cultural, and health reasons for the practice, while intactivists see circumcision as both barbaric and dangerous. It seems like the supposed health risks of an intact foreskin are minimal and easily resolved, though some global health development programs have seen reduced risk for things like STIs and the like in areas without access to clean water. So outside of the cultural religiousness of it all, there are some ongoing debates, but it seems like so much of the health benefits have more to do with actual medical development in countries, instead of it having to do anything with actual circumcision. But it is very hard to separate the art from the artist when it comes to circumcision, and so much of the debate is tied up in the cultural religiousness of it all. Right now, the CDC and the World Health Organization remain fairly neutral on the issue, but many intactivist movements are pushing for an outright ban on newborn medical circumcision, right?
So when you read through the different opinions, you might end up with a sense of frustration. Why can't the medical world just give us a firm answer? Is it healthy? Is it necessary? Or is it completely unnecessary? That would make it feel settled. To this day, however, there are proponents of the procedure who are very passionate about arguing for its benefits. Even supposedly neutral reports, commissions on the efficacy of this procedure, they go through great lengths to maintain the current status quo. The idea that, at the end of the day, whether or not you have your child circumcised comes down to just a personal choice belonging to the parents. And either outcome is essentially as good as the other. After this little bit of reading that I've done, it seems like in 2025, what's probably your basic initial understanding about this subject is probably correct. The 1,000-foot view, in the vast number of cases, there's no world where circumcision is medically preferable to just leaving well enough alone. And on top of that, it's 2025. The medical bureaucracy is led by mostly transparently... Gotta nail this one. Otherwise, RFK will stay in power forever if I don't get this right. The medical bureaucracy is led by the most transparently corrupt and diseased ghouls imaginable. And a big part of their platform, how they get in those positions, is by capitalizing on America's sense of the people in medical authority. They think that these people are spineless morons. They would rather waffle and bend to culture than just take a stand for your health, which we do not condone in this podcast, and that's not the actual problem. Free healthcare for all. But there is no way around the fact that the religious and cultural dimensions surrounding this practice are incredibly complex. For the medical establishment to take a hard stance would be politically toxic to the point of being insane. To be fair to the intactivists, you'd have to be a little crazy to wade into this pool and say that you smelled piss. All that to say, even as the culture shifts, I think later we're going to talk about the stats in the US. However, it still takes a great amount of understanding, grace, and tact to have a discussion with someone from the opposite side of this argument.
And here we can introduce a man who isn't capable of any of that. Matthew Hess. The year is 2011. He decided to spread the word about the evils of circumcision in a brand new way. A comic book so bold, so imaginative, so controversial, it may just change the world. That book is Foreskin Man. So this comic was created as part of promotion for the male genital mutilation bill in 2011, which was a proposed ban on the practice of newborn male circumcision in San Francisco. And this was regardless
Within the city of San Francisco, yeah.
regardless of religion or culture, there was firm stipulation, right, about that.
If it had been passed, which would never have happened in a million years, it would have put it up in the exact same class as female circumcision. There would have been an equivalency, and you would have been prosecuted the same way.
Which is crazy. And I don't even know where to start with this because there's so many parts of this thing. Yeah, so the bill in 2010, starting in 2010, submitted in 2011, was part of a larger campaign by a group of intactivists on the West Coast. Hess's involvement, how would you describe this? Because we'll go more into his backstory a little bit later, but his involvement with the movement, it seems like he just kind of did this comic. He had made a film, right? Like a parody film. He had mentioned before that. And then that's where the Foreskin Man character came from, because he had made a movie poster or something like that for it. And then he just he's related or kind of affiliated with other intactivist groups, but he's also just doing his own thing, right?
His relationship seems to be relatively short and complicated, most likely as a direct result of having produced this comic. Issue 2.
The way that we're gonna look at Foreskin Man, right, is one through the lenses of a propaganda comic. We talked a lot about the idea of Tales from the Gutter is to kind of think about what somebody is trying to say with these comics and how well do they say them, how effective is this, and this as a propaganda comic is a very interesting case study.
This comic was effective at something. Not sure if it was what he intended.
Yeah, it kind of alluded to the fact that this comic does kind of damage the movement, the intactivist anti-circumcision movement as a whole. It brings in a lot of kind of the worst aspects of intactivist stuff. It's such a weird thing. It is a very weird, because there's not only comics, he also made trading cards and
some music.
Fucking music.
What do you call that?
Cue Intactivista right now.
Hell yeah. Of what you got coming. We'll kind of talk a little bit more about how this affected the bill and what his involvement was. You want to dive in, look at this thing?
Yeah, let's dive in. So the overall premise of Foreskin Man, right? Obviously, it is a not very creative Superman-esque character, but Foreskin Man is your classic comic book setup, right? Billionaire, playboy, intactivist, Miles Hastwick heads the Museum of Genital Integrity by day, while he moonlights as Foreskin Man, a superhero who, quote, rescues innocent boys from the clutches of the world's cleverest and most dangerous circumciser.
They're just clever guys,
Clever. Clever's an interesting choice of word.
among many interesting choices. You want to talk costume?
Yeah. Foreskin Man is a Superman setup. He is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, blue and yellow themed hero.
Interesting choice.
Right.
Yeah, color's nice. Sentry looking ass. Also, I didn't even think about this.
Yeah, very Sentry.
Tool belt. Don't know what he's got in there. Extra foreskin.
Oh yeah.
Lotion. Condoms. Hella condoms, dude. Probably.
He's got his what does Matthew Hess wear? It's like a fake foreskin thing.
Oh God. The fucking
3D printed foreskin.
dude. All right. Now that we're there, hold on. Let me find that. Matthew Hess wears a. Matthew Hess appears on a website around the time that he was producing Foreskin Man, and it's a very short blurb talking about working on an anti-circumcision ballot measure, blah blah blah. The final sentence of this page on the website New Mommy Media is, he now wears an artificial foreskin to protect the glands of his penis from circumcision-related characterization with a K. Keratinization. I thought everybody's cock turned into a unicorn horn. I didn't realize I had like a condition. That's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
So there's a utility belt.
Yeah. And I do want to shout out the logo. It is something that is one of the few redeeming qualities of this book. I think it is really funny. I think the logo, from just like a design perspective, pretty fucking good. You want to describe it?
It looks like if you took the Xbox circle with the X in the middle and tilted it up so that just the bottom two parts of the X were there. Yes. You really have to see it for that to make a ton of sense. It's just the head. It's the glands. Yes. It's the glands, but a circle is being finished around the top, so it looks like
it's supposed to like
cupped hands almost.
Kind of like a cross section of the entire penis, uncut fucking glands with the prepuce. We learned the foreskin is called.
Oh yeah, Jesus. Yeah. I learned a lot of words. If you have to make a superhero named Foreskin Man and he needs to have a logo on his chest, I can't imagine you doing better.
Yeah, I guess we'll kind of talk about the other half of the creative team, but I do want to shout out the art in general. Not bad. I've seen a lot worse.
Solid.
And it's pretty good.
Solid.
Yes. He does make some choices which I think are countering Hess's instructions in a way. You know, some of his designs, I feel like
Who's to say?
He may have put his foot down and decided not to do other things that could have been instructed, but
hell yeah.
So the first issue, called Dr. Mutilator. This one came out 2010. The cover. Do we want to start at the cover?
Yeah, you've got Foreskin Man in a hospital room. He's fighting Dr. Mutilator. Dr. Mutilator is mostly a neck. He's a Bane-looking guy, big buck teeth. He is
toe-shaped man.
Very toe-shaped. He is a generic doctor, which is very key to issue 1, an uncontroversial comic. He's a little browner than Foreskin Man, the baby, and the woman, the mother of the baby. However, it's not a big deal. He's got white hair. It's fine. It's fine. He's a generic doctor who turned into a monster.
There is thankfully no racial connotations to this one at all.
You got to hook them. You got to give them a little bit to begin. In the front, what do you see before them? The two of them are fighting in the background. In the foreground, what do you see there, Ethan?
And then we have a redheaded woman holding a little white,
blue-eyed,
blonde-haired baby. In fear,
so
she's
scared.
protecting them from the fight, and before them, they have a table full of all of the circumcision implements that they were going to use on this poor baby. Also, shout out, instead of like the issue, the box, right, where you would normally have the company, the publisher, issue number, date, This is MGM Bill, Male Genital Mutilation Bill Comics, as like the logo. MGM Bill Comics, #1, Foreskin Man.
Funny little move. Yeah. Also, like, does this baby seem pretty fucking huge? Like, I mean, like, don't babies get circumcised like pretty soon after
Yes,
they're
well,
born?
so
Am I wrong about that?
each issue of Foreskin Man is tackling another aspect of circumcision. Foreskin Man is going to be fighting an aspect of circumcision. Each issue, most of them turn out to be racially coded, or not even coded.
Race based.
Yeah, very race.
About race.
Yeah.
On and about race.
Solely having to do with their race or religion. But this one is, he is
Dr.
fighting
Mutilator. Yeah.
the personification of like newborn male circumcision. Like, and this is what the San Francisco MGM bill was specifically for. The newborn male circumcision.
Yeah. It's Foreskin Man versus Western Medicine, issue 1.
Yeah.
Opening panels is a window into the mind of Intactivist. What is Bruce Wayne in the Intactivist universe? Mm-hmm. Bruce Wayne in the Intactivist universe, still a billionaire, still got a cave underground. It looks kind of like the Bat Cave, except it has a yacht. Needs to have a yacht.
The Smegma Cave.
Yes. At the very beginning, he's opening a display at his museum. The display is just a baby being circumcised.
Yeah, in this world, there is not only a circumcision museum, but the people who own the circumcision museum are also billionaire playboys. That's where we're starting here. And it's like this, all of it is so elevated. And I feel like, not even in a comic book way, but more in just a way that I think Hess feels like this is what it feels like to him. He's like fighting this huge fucking, it's this war, the war against foreskins, man.
Also, this museum is larger than the White House. Like, look at the size of the fuckers in the first panel. They're teeny tiny. The door to enter the museum is 9 times the size of a human being. Giant fucking sign on the side, opening exhibit. And it looks like he drew the building and then decided it wasn't big enough, and so he put in teeny tiny people in front of it.
Like, fuck, they're gonna make these people look tiny.
It must be twice as big. So he gives a little pet talk to someone. They say, "Oh, we're so sad. We're so sad because of the display." And he's like, "Don't worry, we're winning. We're winning the culture war."
Everybody's like some fucking. The art is very like the art's pretty good, but it looks like it's like early 2000s style almost, but this is 2011. Like in terms of like style and shit like this looks like very like early 2000s, like even like late 90s kind of shit. It reminds me of somebody, but I can't put my finger on it. But it does have the very like classic like comic booky style, also in the fact that everybody's fine as fuck. Ladies have big boobies.
Yeah, if you are not fine as fuck, you're a supervillain.
Men have all the same jawline.
Unless you were born in another country.
Unless you're 2 shades darker than whoever you're working with.
The panel work is pretty good, pretty solid. My eyes don't get lost when I go through this comic. Yeah. Like he's got a good idea. Yeah,
I think it reads pretty fine. Yeah, even I will say like it's not too like the dialogue is dog shit. I mean, we'll talk about it later once it becomes more offensive. But like the art at least is trying. Like he's doing his best. The guy, whoever the dude was.
The poster that the guy made that led into the idea of making this as a comic was still up on his website. If you look at that, what he tried to draw with as the superhero. It's some like Chris Chan looking shit. It looks really bad. It's some weird, gross like paint MS stuff. We ended up not spending a lot of time on the artist just because like Matthew Hess was such a fucking rabbit hole. The guy who made it,
Yeah.
we stand, dude. Fully support him. He's the best fucking part of this comic.
Just a chill. What is he?
I think
Brazilian guy.
I think he's Brazilian. I think we'll see his name on the he doesn't get his name attached until issue 2, which is very funny.
Yeah, we'll shout him out for sure. But like, cause like this is also a thing. Internet's around, right? And like a big trend in like even like it's not even like a trend anymore. It's just like the state of like comics in general is like so much stuff is like outsourced. Not even outsourced. It's just like everybody lives and works everywhere in the world now. Some of the best like artists working in comics are like from South America or like Italy and shit like that. There's some really great like stuff coming out of other countries, and like I'm just imagining them like coming together on this, like on like some fucking Reddit forum, like Matthew Hesh just posting like, hello, I need somebody to draw my comic, and then this dude like answering like a fucking Craigslist ad, and he's like, what the fuck, Foreskin man, like what the fuck is this, like,
Sure.
and he's doing his best with it. He's doing his best, but the plot,
Dog shit.
there's very little plot. So in this world, Foreskin Man has a connection with like a bunch of nurses in different hospitals that will tell him when a baby's getting circumcised.
Because he fucked all of them. Because
Yes,
the baseball card for the nurse that's about to call for his help, the reverse side of the card leaves very little to the imagination. It's just like, yeah, they used to have a thing. Yeah, she used to have something, but maybe she still has feelings for him. Like very like it gets a little incel-y. It's very weird. He's just fucked everyone. The nurse is about to call for help because we cut to a hospital right after we've seen like the I don't know if there's a funny name for his bat cave. Probably a missed opportunity. That would have been really funny.
I said the Smegma Cave.
But I mean, I was thinking something more like the sheath. Okay, wait. Where are you? Okay. We're at the hospital. Look at the baby. Look at the baby in the top left, dude. Zoom up on that. Bro, why's he got so many fucking teeth?
It's part of a long tradition of comic book artists not being able to draw children, and it's something that like there's something about like just Western, because like anime usually fine, like manga and shit, but something about Western comic artists and not being able to draw children, it's very endearing to me at this point. I love it.
That one in the middle is just a bald man. It's just a bald man, like with like pectorals. Like it's so funny.
Also, this child's name is Orlando, which is the names in this comic are hilarious.
Very
so
weird.
Maybe Orlando.
The baby was just born. Baby's got teeth. Mom, fine as fuck, dude. She looks great.
So funny. Doctor comes in, right, and
Dr. Griswold.
She doesn't want to have a circumcision, but he closes the door and fucking morphs into Dr. Mutilator.
The Mutilator.
When he morphs from his like regular doctor form to his monster form, he like blood also comes out onto his.
Yeah, what the fuck? He's got blood on his jacket now. It's crazy.
Because he goes from a clean lab coat to a lab coat with blood all over it. Also his glasses stay on, but his little purple bow tie fucking disappeared.
Nicely gone. Missed opportunity. Should have kept that. What do you think this means? The Jenny, what is it, Jenny? Yeah, Nurse Jenny sends an urgent message to him. Code CSDGH, room 1777. I don't think he does anything on accident.
I have no idea.
If I had prepared something, that could have been funny.
C is definitely for circumcision.
It's cock. All right, you want to talk about his reveal?
Yes. My favorite thing outside of the logo, there's a couple of things that I do really like, and they are all, I think, credit to the artist. So Miles Hastwick, blonde, blue-eyed guy with a goatee, right? But when he changes into Foreskin Man, his goatee, he peels off and the goatee is fake, which that is the single most creative thing about this. Like, about this entire comic is that aspect of it. I'm like, wow, you know what? I can confidently say I've never seen that as part of like the superhero thing.
I've never seen someone take off
Yeah, the facial hair.
like Green Arrow, like when he goes into yeah, like he just takes it off. Also, there's times where he will transform into Foreskin Man, and then he will transport back into Miles, which means that he took a glued on goatee.
Yeah, maybe
Maybe
that's
that's
what
what
his
he's got in his
fucking
utility
utility belt
belt.
was, the
Like, because
fucking thing,
he
yeah.
has to put it
His
somewhere.
fake goatee.
Full of goatees, full of it.
Yeah.
So he flies off. His only power, I think he doesn't actually have superpowers. I think he just has. I think he's invented flight boots,
Okay.
and he's buff as fuck. I'm pretty sure. We're never very clear on what his power set is. I think he's pretty strong. Also, do you see what he beats Dr. Mutilator over the head with here?
Yeah, with the fucking bedpan.
No, that's not a bedpan.
What is that?
You know what that is.
Oh, those are the circumstraints.
Circumstraints, infant restraints.
Yeah.
2 words you don't think would ever need to go together.
Yeah, so Foreskin Man flies in, beats Dr. Mutilator with the circumstraints.
Go look up a photo.
It's bad. It's not a good look.
It's to hold down babies when they do the cutting. So it's a pretty scary thing to see, actually.
Yeah. So he beats Dr. Mutilator, who turns back, and he's arrested, taken away. Foreskin Man, I think you and Orlando will be safe now.
Jenny contacted me when she overheard what was going on. I think you and Orlando will be safe now. He just knows everybody.
Yeah, he just knows everybody. Well, he had met her, but does she know that he's Foreskin Man? Only he knows her as Miles. Remember? Like, he knows her as Miles because she was at the fucking thing.
Bro, honestly, that's probably his kid. He's got a pretty strong batting average.
He do be fucking everybody. Like, that's the thing. That's what's so weird about this. Is, like, every single issue, it's like Daredevil, where it's like he can't get them through the justice system, so he has to become Daredevil to like fight it. But, like, this is like a weird opposite where he always meets somebody who's against circumcision, but then out of like no fault of their own, like they're either kidnapped or something like that or forced into it.
A very circumcision, related event.
Yeah, their baby ends up almost getting circumcised, so Foreskin Man has to come and save them. It's such a weird thing.
Yeah.
Like, we'll talk about it more, like, his approach to this. Like, it's such a weird, like, I don't understand, like, the choices he makes are very, like, shallow and surface level for the, like, superhero idea and, like, his approach to the thing. It's literally every issue is just circumcision bad and the people who do it are bad, evil fucking people.
And it's not satirical in any way. It's like, it really does, like, seem like it reflects like a worldview where like circumcision is just like again, it's just like how I think, like, you know, like fucking Republicans think about adrenochrome. Like, it's like circumcision is just happening behind every corner, and there's millions of villains who are constantly like doing this shit. It makes sense that there would be a circumcision man.
There's secret cells of circumcisers all over the world. they could be
all
in your
over
neighborhood.
the place. Yeah. Yes. Miles finishes each comic kind of like a, I don't know, like an anime hero or something. Like, it's always like a very chaste peck on the cheek, and then you see his cheeks as he flies away.
The end of this first issue too has like a big pin up on the last page of like Foreskin Man, and I do want to read the blurb. Miles Hastwick is a former corporate scientist who now heads the Museum of Genital Integrity on a small island surrounded by San Diego's famous beaches. So this is the museum.
It's on his island?
A fucking private island off the coast of like SoCal. Like, what the fuck?
Damn. Honestly, the Epstein parallels.
It's bad. It's bad. Unbeknownst to the public, Miles is also Foreskin Man, an intactivist superhero who rescues innocent boys from the clutches of the world's cleverest and most dangerous circumcisers. And now we will find out just how clever.
All right, issue 2. This is where it all goes downhill.
Yeah, this is where it gets bad. This is an infamous issue where Any quick Google of the words foreskin man side by side, this is probably the first thing that will come up, and this is how this got on our radar, right? So, issue 2 is of Foreskin Man is the series' first foray into the racist and anti-Semitic sentiments that the book will eventually become infamous for. So the comic opens with Miles hearing on the news that all the circumstraints were stolen from nearby hospitals, which you will find out was done by you find this out, it's canonized on the back of one of the trading cards. But there's another character in this, Tia Cumming, who's an intactivist revolutionary. We'll talk about her more later. But she had stolen these circumstraints. So Foreskin Man hears about this on the news.
What is the name of his yacht? We can see the name of it on there. What is that?
The Langerhans, the Longerhorn,
That doesn't even.
the Langerhans.
It's probably fucking
Longerhans?
German. Probably.
Sounds German.
Why would it be German?
Fucking dog whistles, bro. Dog whistles. Then he throws a yacht party complete with bikini babes and tiki drinks. Yeah. He's invited by a colleague, Mia, to her nephew's bris. So who the fuck is bringing a date to a bris?
Also, who the fuck shows up? Who goes?
Who's like, okay,
well,
man.
You starved for pussy, dude? You're doing great.
But her whole thing too is like she was like, oh, I convinced my sister not to circumcise their kid, so they're Jewish, right? And she's like, oh, I convinced my sister not to circumcise them. And he's like, oh, that's great, I'll go and like show my support. But the circumcision soiree is interrupted by monster Moyle. So this character and his gang of Orthodox goons carrying Uzis who had been secretly invited by the father, right, show up.
Because he wants to do it.
Shout out to the artist again for doing his best not to fall into the more classical Jewish caricatures, right? But there's not much you can do when the main villain is called the Monster Moyle, right?
I don't know anything about it, man, but apparently like even the things that they're wearing are from like different fucking people have denominations. What do you call them? Different sects of Judaism.
Because they're supposed to be Orthodox, but they're not correctly Orthodox. You know,
it's just a mixed match of just like Jewish imagery to make a villain. The villains look evil, so you have created, leaving aside what's about to go down, you've created a like evil looking Jewish character that is a caricature of the culture that you're doing. It's only issue 2. It's going to keep going. But just like, you can't do that. You're not supposed to do that, man. I know you have a thing for evil characters with a lot of teeth. That next image is actually pretty cool.
I know, that's the thing. It's like it's not bad. It's not bad.
That one looks pretty good, dude. Yeah,
it looks pretty fucking good.
I could see that as like
when
a Batman villain.
White,
yeah, it's cool. I like that.
Because, like, honestly, it's kind of fucking
actually, we support it.
I like the idea of the... Because, like, what is it? Did you ever see Uncut Gems or Snatch or that new Darren Aronofsky movie with Austin Butler where he's, like, running through New York and shit? But I like when they have, like, the Orthodox, like, New York. Like, I don't know. I think it's, like, visually, like, a cool vibe when they're all, like, gangster and shit.
There's a way to do it.
They choose the worst way. All right, so do you wanna read this part?
Yes. Do you wanna finish it first? Let's get to the end of it.
Okay.
Miles slips off to lose the goatee.
Yeah. So Foreskin Man triumphs, but the child's innocent mother is either knocked out. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, she's just gone for a second. Ethan. Now that you've pointed out the can't draw baby syndrome, this is like the funniest thing I've ever seen. These pages aren't labeled, but the one on the bottom right there, that's the Hulk. That is the Hulk.
Oh, funny.
That's so funny.
So funny. And like, especially like for like a comic where there's so many babies in
there must be a baby every comic.
There's always there has to be a baby every single comic. But like they are always fucking all over the place with the designs. Foreskin Man throws an 8-ball at the at the monster Moyle before he's about to snip this baby, and the child's mother is either knocked unconscious or killed. It's not really clear at all. But then, because she does is she pleads with Foreskin Man to find a woman named Tia Cumming. And Foreskin Man escapes with the baby.
Because Monster Mole says, it's just a matter of time. We'll get that baby someday.
Yeah, so they really, it's so weird too, because every villain in this really wants the baby.
So bad.
Really want the baby for some reason, which I don't think that's how, it paints the pro-circumcision lobby or whatever as people that are trying to steal kids' foreskins all the time. Yeah. They're just like, man, I need the fucking foreskin.
Shout out to the penis communicator. Or I can't think of a good one there.
Because it looks like his logo. Just like a little the foreskin phone.
Yeah, the phone.
He meets Tia, who is this just hippie baddie chick, right? Who is the leader of the Intactivist Underground, which is a weird anachronistic-y intactivist group that's it's like the fucking Weathermen /
Woodstock.
All of those counterculture revolution, those 60s, 70s ass.
The baby clinging to her back as she walks away just looks like a white Yoda. He just with smaller ears. Yeah. It does not look okay.
And so did the mom die?
Yeah.
And then he just gives his baby to her?
I mean, I guess, yeah, because...
So he just, gives his baby?
That's the thing. They say, okay, what is her exact words? Glick will be safe with us, Foreskin Man. We will raise him as one of our own. So in the many things that this comic is doing weird, he's taking a Jewish baby, and he's like, you're not fit to be a parent because of your practice. And then... he steals the baby and gives him to a random group of people.
Steals the baby.
Their only thing that all these people have in common is that they're against circumcision, and they're going to raise a child.
And so, also the Intactivist Underground, who we never meet again.
Never show up again.
From what we see, we have, which I also learned from the trading cards, there is a Tia Cumming, right? And then this dude on a fucking Harley named Warrior. His name is Warrior. And he looks kind of like a Slash.
Yeah.
Plus Wolverine, kind of.
He looks like
Slash
Meatloaf in Rocky Horror Picture. Oh, that's just Rocky.
Yes, he's giving a little Jack Black.
Basically, you want to get a beer with this guy.
Exactly. So they take the baby and then they fucking light the sick ass Intactivist Underground logo.
Yeah.
On fire on the beach.
It's constructed of circumstraints. Yes. In the most anti-Semitic comic that he made, he had a burnt effigy at the end of it. Also, maybe not the best place, piling it all on. Okay, now we have to have an opinion about this. Somebody should.
This is the biggest one, but it doesn't get any better than from here, really.
And this is a good, because the first one is more generic, we're going to use number 2 as sort of a jumping off point to set up the thesis. It's a segue into a section which unfortunately may need to be a repeating segment on any show about comic books. Is our author a bigot? We're going to keep reading these, and that's the reason I say bigot instead of anti-Semite. There are 4 more comics to go, and for the most part, it is a carousel of fucked up, culturally insensitive characters. After reading the comics and some of the few interviews that he's put out, I think the man is coming from a place of profound ignorance, not a place of hate. Circumcision is a practice born out of culture, and while not common globally, it's practiced by a diverse set of people. Matt is obviously uninformed about even the smallest part of any of the cultures that appear in these comics, and his lack of curiosity or even embarrassment is almost impressive. The cultures that participate in circumcisions are nothing but backdrops for Miles to show up, kick ass, and get ogled at by a token, insanely proportioned woman from whatever group he happens to be raiding that day. They're stripped away of any identity outside of this one practice. Matt fills in the blanks that he couldn't be bothered to learn about with tropes and stereotypes that make Steven Spielberg look like a cultural anthropologist. Matt's a weird guy, but he's still privileged enough to not understand why a perfect Germanic specimen cracking racially diverse jaws across the globe is not a good look. I do not personally believe that Matt is a xenophobe or white supremacist, but I think it's just as possible, perhaps even worse. A lot of ways, he's just a pretty average middle-class white guy, especially from that time period. That said, maybe 10 to 20 to 100% less self-aware than what's normal. This big passion of his desire to make a comic to support it, just put out this kind of crazy worldview where everyone could see it very clearly.
Yeah, so it's so hard because it's like, I don't know. I feel like he's just like, he is kind of just a little racist. Like, that's the thing, is like, I feel like he is just like, he chose this. This is like the perfect storm of like, he had an opportunity to like, or he created the opportunity for himself to do this thing, and like he's attached so many other like ideas to this whole like circumcision thing that is like weird, and we'll talk about it too later, like the connection to like other kind of movements, I guess, during this time, or like trends and things. Nowadays I feel like it's a lot different, like you could see it coming from a mile away, but I feel like back at like during this time so much shit is close to each other, you know, there's not as much separation between things, I guess, as there used to be, or as there is now, you know. So like he's like, we'll talk about how the thing, like how the overall movement kind of distanced him, like distanced themselves from him, right? Because this issue sparked a lot of outrage from organizations like the ADL. So, like Ted McKeever, maybe Hess would have been better off sticking around until now.
Oh, yeah. The world needs them, yeah.
Exactly. So, this issue is one of many that forgoes an open dialogue or even informative satire for a weirdly culture-obsessed view of the circumcision issue. While Foreskin Man looks more like a Superman pastiche, he's closer to like an intactivist Rorschach with like an insanely black and white take that always somehow errs on the side of racism or cultural insensitivity at the least.
Yeah, well said. If you look up Foreskin Man and you put in news, all the articles about 10 years old, the majority of them are going to have to do with how everybody thought it was fucked up. I think it was actually like a bit of a story in some places. Especially I think in Jewish circles, like maybe like your average like culturally or politically engaged Jewish person would probably know about Foreskin in that year, just from the amount of articles. Yeah. It was in like CBS. It was in a lot of places.
Because this is still, I mean, like, this is 2011. We're already deep in social media and shit like that already, and I'm sure like this blew up pretty big. I'm surprised I didn't hear more about it in comic book circles, to be honest. Like, and like that's the thing though too, is like this is a comic book podcast, but this is not part of comic book culture, really. You know what I mean? Like this is very outside. Yeah. We'll talk about it more later, but I don't think Hess is a comic book guy. He just chose this medium to like put out his very just weird ideas and perspectives about this thing.
If he had not probably underpaid this guy who was like a halfway decent artist or just a good artist, he paid a good artist to make a comic book that looks as serviceable as a lot of the other comic books in the world. And so we're like, oh, comic book podcast, we can talk about this. This could have just as easily as been a web comic, and I wouldn't have spent any time on it. It's just that he got a good fucking artist, so you can kind of get through it.
Yeah, it's like surprisingly readable, which is so weird. Like I kind of wish it was like work, you know?
Yeah. Could have been talking about any other fucking guy right now.
Wouldn't have had to look at Foreskins for the last couple of weeks. So moving on, issue 3, right, is titled Vulva Girl. And Foreskin Man goes to Kenya, where they're apparently kidnapping kids to perform ritual circumcisions. Foreskin Man teams up with another hero named Vulva Girl in a common attempt by the anti-activist movement to equate circumcision to female genital mutilation, which is I will have to say, straight up, is not a fair comparison. Those are two very different things. While I get the general idea, like many interactivist talking points, the more they try to make these connections, the less valid the movement seems as a whole. That has, on the world stage in politics, been world health, like,
roundly
yeah.
criticized.
Yeah, like there have been already a lot of like bills passed and things like that to prevent this. While not to downplay the negatives of circumcision, not really a fair comparison at all. This issue is another example of Hess not only not making a good argument, but also finding an excuse to paint another culture as like savage or barbaric, and like the children of the world as helpless victims waiting for a white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, foreskin savior to come for them.
We don't need to get into it. The images of just like a typical, like, where is he supposed to be? What is his country?
He's in Kenya. Yeah.
He's in Kenya. His conception of the average place to visit in Kenya is not great. Yeah. It's not great. Like
it's not even like worth talking about.
Describe it. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's just what you think. It's just what you think he would think.
I mean, everybody's just like these, like, very like tribal. Like, it's not even like, because this is modern day. Like, this is modern day, but he still thinks that they're tribal pre-colonial
Popeye goes
times.
to Kenya. It's very, very Tintin.
Yeah, it's like where are we right now? What year is this? Like, and like the main bad, like the big bads are like there's a male circumcision guy and a female genital mutilation lady who's like they're just like tribal witch doctor fucking characters, and like not great. And Vulva Girl is cool, I guess.
Vulva Girl's got real powers for sure.
Yeah, she has like real powers. Like she has like energy power, and like also pretty fucking good logo, honestly. Like it I mean, it just looks like,
you like that?
Pretty good. Like from a design perspective, like not bad. Like if the assignment was create a superhero logo that is vulva, clitoris, like together, and incorporate the V in
letter
there
V,
somehow,
yeah.
Dude, passed. Great.
He could have been a graphic designer, or honestly, this probably wasn't his. This was his artist for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, that's one more in the bag.
Yeah, like the actual plots, the plots of these aren't, they're only 16 pages. We've covered most of like the designs. It's not great. Like the actual plot is non-existent. Formula of him meeting somebody, as we said before, finding out about some kind of like circumcision going on, goes and fights them, easily wins, saves the children. And if you think we forgot about the Islamophobia, we did not, because issue 4,
we're going to Turkey.
Foreskin Man goes to Turkey, right? This one, the big bad is a Turkish villain who is controlled by a magic ceremonial knife, right? It's like possessed, right? In this one
is it's another notch in my column of he's more of an idiot than he is a bigot. In the first couple pages, well, I mean, come on. He works at he's speaking to Tahir. He works at a museum at the Grand Bazaar in Istanbul. He has to give Miles a dagger. It's an evil dagger that as soon as you touch it, you're going to want to perform a circumcision. I'm not kidding. But then after that, he says he should go say hi to his daughter, the belly dancer, who works at Club Aladdin. Like, he has the mind of a child. You know what I mean? Like, he's not even informed enough to be, like, he's just a kid. He's just dumb.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can only say that, though, if you're not, like, a fucking 40-year-old man. Like, right? Like, that's the thing. It's like, there's only so much I'm, like... And also, this is 2011. It's not, like, 1996 or something like that. Like, this is, like, too late in the game. We're deep into the internet already. Like, you could Google any of this, which is so funny, because it literally just shows every single like time, like you were saying about like the Moyle is dressed and the stuff like that. It's like he looked it up, but not he literally just the
Yeah.
first page of a Google search thing like is like that's literally everything, which is kind of amusing at times, but it's also just like, bro, come on, dude. Like I feel like Battle Pope was more mature and insightful
Literally.
than this
Yeah.
is, you
Yeah.
know? Civilian Justice was.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to make this man redeemable, and he's might not be.
The knife thing is cool though, but so here in Turkey, right, he's tackling another aspect of, as with so the 3, 4, 5 or 3, 4, and 6 all have to do with circumcision practices on children that are coming of age. So in Turkey, there's a big ritual party celebration called Sunet. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. That is where like children like 10, 11, 12 get, that's when they get circumcised. And it's like a big like rite of passage kind of ceremony thing. And this is the one that he's fighting now. And it's crazy too because it's like it's very obviously modern day, but it's also like the entire town is coming to watch this kid get circumcised.
Yeah.
Like, is this man? But it's not.
Yeah.
He's not like the king or
It's
anything
just a
like that.
guy.
Like it's so.
Also, everyone in this town is dressed like they are in the fucking parade from the movie Aladdin. Like
Exactly. Like I get it's just another one of those things of him like just exoticizing like this other
what is a real
culture.
place? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a real fucking place. Like 2011 Turkey does not look like this, I don't think. And also they're like in Istanbul. Like it's not even like they're like in some fucking
Yeah.
random village. Like they're in the fucking capital of the country.
There's a lot of beaded doors. Like they don't actually go between two rooms without there being a beaded door in between it.
The knife is cool. That's all I'll give that one.
You like the knife? You like the knife? Yeah. Okay. I mean, it does look cool.
The knife is kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Like to get my hand on that.
Also, Foreskin Man is definitely fucking the belly dancer lady.
What is that? He says it. He said it in front of her son, or she says, "If you can stay a little while longer, perhaps a few more days, it would be my honor to show them to you. The many beautiful things in Istanbul." I don't know, Layla. With an invitation like that, I might have to stay the whole week. So he's weirdly saying like, "Oh wow, what a beautiful offer. I'm still gonna fuck off at the end of the week, but hell, let's see how it goes."
And also, the kid is in the background listening to this, and he's like, "Nice.
Are you my new dad?
Are you my new dad?"
Another gross one.
Probably the only good one, at least the only one that I was not like absolutely offended by, was issue 5 here, Bioflash. So the first 3 or 4 issues come out 2010 and 11. This is during the bill, right? And we'll talk a little bit more about the bill, like the initial bill, but it goes through a couple resubmission periods, and the release of the comic coincides with them like promoting like these bills or like the addendums and shit that they were like keep resubmitting to different courts and stuff like that, right? So issue 5, kind of cool. Definitely my favorite, no doubt. Maybe some of the worst art.
I think he worked with 3 different artists over the course of the thing. I don't think that's our guy.
It looks like Ultimate Comics.
Yeah,
stuff.
like a off issue Ultimate Comics. Also, we finally got around to bonus pinup inside. Yeah. Like, what are we even doing now?
This one is we're going to Vegas, baby. This one is Foreskin Man. This one titled Bioflash. Foreskin Man takes on the CEO of a cosmetics company that uses discarded foreskins as the base of a face cream. And I looked into this and I was surprised to find out that this is like actually like a real thing. Supposedly they use foreskin cells for like all kinds of pharmaceutical and like cosmetic industries, from stem cell research to like moisturizer. Waste not, want not.
We're back to the adrenochrome. Right? Yeah, yeah.
So this plot is actually pretty wacky and is fun. Yeah, like this was like actually fucking like this is one like part of why like I feel like there's a lot of missed opportunities with this thing as a whole, because like this is actually interesting. It's kind of one of those like that's so wacky that it's funny. Like it's a great like comic book plot. Like
Yeah.
he's saving the son of this woman. Pinup is of
Check the pinup. Yeah.
Amber.
Oh, Amber.
Aurora. Wait, what is it?
Tito is the baby.
Tito is the baby. The CEO is called Max Warmong.
Good. Love it. War Dong would have been cooler.
The child's mother is named Aurora Taddington. Very James Bond-esque name. Yes. Yeah, so during this, I guess, convention for like OBGYNs, Miles was there. Like his cover was that he was put on an exhibit about the different kinds of like tools that they use for circumcision or something like that.
You got the smart clamp.
Yeah, the Glomco clamp, all kinds of fucked up shit.
Oh, you got all the clamps. I do not like the look of that Terra clamp. I don't know what that's meant to be used on, but I'm horrified that it exists.
See, that would have been something cool. Like, we'll talk about the missed opportunities later, but that might have been like something cool. Like, really, he fights somebody who they have a bunch of different weapons and they're all the fucking clamps.
Yo.
Type shit. But so this one, the fight sequence at the end is like him chasing them down on a roller coaster to save the baby.
Max Warmong needs a foreskin right fucking now. He's got a big client on the line. He needs a foreskin today.
I know, that's the fucking thing. He needed the foreskin right away. So they went and just like kidnapped some random baby to steal the foreskin.
They took a baby, and then he was walking by the Hotel OGBYN conference and overheard being like, "Oh, I'm so glad my baby's not cut." And he said, "Oh, I think we just found our foreskin." Yeah. So this one's a crime. This one's I think that's why this one's not as bad. It's a real stolen. If someone stole a baby and circumcised it, that would be the crime of the decade. That would just be the most like fucked up thing that's ever happened, you know? So this one is like, he should have just done more like this. Yeah.
Exactly. Like so many of these are that, but then at least this one is like, at worst it's just fucking stupid. Like just like the actual plot and writing is like dumb, but at least this one is like regular. Like there's no like there's no race. It's just like a fucking bad guy. He could have been like the Lex Luthor of this. Like I could have seen a world where it's like this guy is the guy that's pulling all the strings, and like there's like a interconnected universe. Somehow he's like the one that's why at least you're giving a reason why all of the fucking circumcisers are so like proactive.
Crimes are happening. Yeah,
they're like proactive about it. I don't think
Dr. Clamp instead of Dr. Claw.
Exactly.
He's always got a different clamp on.
Something fun, like he doesn't have an arm, so he just puts different fucking circumcision clamps as like a hook instead. Something like that. But no, we get 2 more issues of fucking weird, racially fucking...
6 is kind of a rehash? Or what is this one? What is 6? I forgot about
6. So 6 one is... Some Foreskin man goes to the fucking Philippines. Of fucking course.
I forgot about that. Okay, yeah.
Can't catch a break.
Yeah, I'll let you handle this one.
This one is crazy. Alright, so... 6th issue, Miles meets a woman named Malaya, who's a sculptor who has an exhibit at Hastwick's museum, and she is drugged by her own sister so that her nephew can be taken away to be circumcised. And in this story, the villains are like sex pod nurses who keep like young boys in cages. Right, they're like this one again. They're like kidnapping kids to like hold them. Like I don't know why there's like this weird industry of
Ethan,
it.
Why are her arms so big?
She's fucking swole. She's fucking jagged.
Bro, why does she check his teeth? She checks this little kid's teeth before she takes his foreskin. Why would you do that? Oh, okay. And this one they show it. I forgot about this one. She's like like it's getting more graphic as we go
Yeah,
along.
they draw a little kid's pee-pee. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know if you're supposed to be drawing that.
Draw his pee being stretched out.
Like, it's very weird.
I think we've lost our initial artist on this one.
Yeah, this one does not look as good. Yeah, so this one, like, the villains are just these fucking sexy nurse ladies who, like, hunt down little boys and put them in a cage so that they can fucking steal their foreskins. Her line is, "Are you boys ready to have your pencil sharpened?"
Ladies, let's pull down those shorts, and then the next one is just like, eight babies.
Yeah, that's very weird.
I think I've said pee too many times on this podcast.
I don't know.
Well, you don't want to say a baby's cock.
Yeah, Foreskin Man comes in and he fucking saves the kid, and then he brings the fucking kid back to his, like,
The sculptor, and then he fucks the mom.
he fucks the mom, or he fucks the aunt, because this is the aunt,
Oh,
right? Because
right,
the sister, who is the boy's mom, is one of the nurses.
Right. But she has a change of heart.
Yeah, this is another thing, because, like, Filipino circumcision, like, traditional circumcision is called tuli. That's what the name of this chapter is called, Operation Tuli. And it dates back to, like, pre-colonial times even, like maybe tied to, like, the influence of Islam way back in the day. It's seen as, like, a rite of passage, again, for boys coming of age, which is probably why my, like, grandpa and his homies were getting up to that, like, in the middle of fucking lunchtime in, like, 5th or 6th grade. But like my grandpa's story, right? Many boys for the procedure. Like, it's like a thing. They did a study recently where, because they're like 11 or 12, right? So they have, like, it's just kind of like a peer pressure, like, everybody's doing it, so, like, you got to, you should do it too, right? Yeah. But now, like, the practice has been linked to, like, there's been studies done on, like, PTSD, right? And there were a couple deaths in the Philippines attributed to, like, complications around, like, the surgery. So, like, that's the thing. Like, now, like, making it this, like, super villain thing, it undercuts, and it's not creative in the way that it's, like, approaching
presented,
these.
Yeah, the information that you just gave in the last 3 minutes is just is so much more than you would find in this.
That's
comic.
enough.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Like, because, like, another thing too, I was, like, thinking about how could you make this better, and I was thinking if, like, instead of him being, like, this fucking Randian foreskin savior, like fucking Rorschach, he's, like, all-star Superman, where he just goes and he finds people that are going to circumcise their children and, like, actually convinces them not to by, like, showing them real information and stuff like that. Like, God forbid this, like, educate anybody, you know? Like, it's so fucking like, it's so bad. Like, it's just it does no work to actually make a good argument or like give any information that would convince anybody, right, to do anything. It's just like, wow, look at these fucking third world fucking savages. Isn't that disgusting?
The main character never has a debate with anyone. He talks to women that he's already fucking about how bad circumcision is, and then goes out and beats the shit out of someone who it is. Like, you know, even Superman tries to fucking talk Luthor off a cliff every now and then. Like, this guy just, like, he just shows up and kicks ass. Like, that's it.
It's like the worst part of the superhero, like, critique in discourse, right? Where it's like he's not doing anything to address the actual systemic practice or anything, like make a clear argument or anything, right? Like he's not doing any, which is what this comic is supposed to do, as like propaganda.
As propaganda,
it's supposed to like communicate an idea, and like it's just not doing it well. Like it's just not effective.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We've now connected it to comic culture. We've gone full circle. Also, the back, like we talked about this before, these comics don't have They don't have backs. The back is just like a spread of something that he thought was interesting.
Yeah, like a big splash page.
A big splash page. The back for number 6 is children in cages and a pregnant woman with like water spigots or something with an axe next to it. Like, can you imagine seeing this in a comic shop?
And also, all of these kids fucking have the same exact fucking giant head. They look kind of like John Romita Jr. fucking children. Which is not a compliment.
They all have to be looking face on or exactly at 3/4. It's the only 2 angles that he knows how to draw. All right, getting into the end.
All right.
This is the final Foreskin Man. This one, so I mean, honestly, has he kind of run out of cultures that circumcise by now? Like, it's not the most common.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, well, I hit all of the main, all of like the. I've hit every culture I could so far. Yeah. Like, and like that's the thing is like he hasn't like outside of the Bioflesh one, he hasn't like tackled any other like arguments about it. Like it's only been focused on like the cultural like religiousness of it all, and only to say, hey, this is fucking bad and barbaric.
Yeah. So we've had man versus man, and for the last comic he ever puts out, it's a little bit of man versus self. This is an inward-looking comic made by a couple different artists. Kind of weird how it like bounces back and forth in between. It's a little more graphic than the rest of them. It's a very odd note to go out on, honestly, to disappear after.
Yeah, this one is weirdly dark.
Yes. He wrote in an article that this was a like revenge fantasy. He said that he had talked to many men who said that it was a fantasy of theirs to be able to confront the doctor who performed the circumcision on them, and that's where the idea for this comic came from. Oh, Ethan, you can't just skip past this. This is the most important part. This is the full-on penetrative sex, like baby penis on page 2. We get another baby penis. You're like, oh, that's a little more graphic than it used to be. Page 4. I don't want to talk about it. You talk about it. What's on page 4?
Page 4. He's fucking. This dude is fucking. So like, tell us what is the story? Like the main character is Donovan Tracer.
Donovan Tracer from New Orleans, the French Quarter. Imagine reading a comic book, any comic book, and it's saying like New Orleans, not in the French Quarter. Like, of course, you know it's the fucking French Quarter. Donovan, he has his Ratatouille open. My name is Donovan Tracer. You're probably wondering why I'm doing this. He's cutting off a pipe with the saw in an alley. I'm like, I guess. 27 years ago, you welcomed me into this world with a circumcision and a snarl. It's got like just like a baby crying. The first 3 panels are the same type of style that we've seen the whole time. The next couple and for the next few pages are all penciled.
Yeah, it's not really inked. Yeah,
with like rounded edges. Very, very, very strange. It's like somebody quit or something like that.
Maybe I like it. It's an interesting like style choice. I've seen it in like some other stuff before.
So this one is also different in that it talks about how circumcision affects an adult, especially in the mind and experience of a what they would see as victim of circumcision.
Yes. Also, the real true victim in Matthew Hess's eyes of circumcision is the 30-year-old American white man. Yeah. Straight white guy. Is the true victim of circumcision.
There is more care and compassion and understanding put towards this character than all of the other comics combined, obviously.
Exactly.
It's just talking about how this guy is like dealing with like sexual problems. When you took my foreskin, you took the nerves and the feelings that went with it. I'm damaged goods. My relationship with women's all seemed to end the same way. I couldn't give them what they wanted. And then he meets a girl. This is all during the flashback. And then we just like see like them fucking on a bed. Sky was experienced with guys like me. For once, I got to be a real man. So it's like it's him fucking Sky on the bed. We talked about before maybe the artist pushing back a little bit. The woman is crying. The woman is crying in this image.
Yeah, she does not look like she's having a good time.
Not having a good time. And then his life is getting better. He's a bartender. And then the mutilator, Dr. Edward Griswold from Comic One. Dr. Mutilator has been released, and he's having these revenge fantasies, knowing that this guy has been put behind bars, helped him get his life together. And now that he's out again, he's angry.
So this dude, because he's like, the system is broken, Foreskin Man couldn't keep this guy in jail, right? So he's like, I had to take matters into my own hands. And his costume is like, how would you describe this?
Oh, okay. So he just wears, much like Civilian Justice, his costume is mostly what he was wearing before he became what he is today.
Black leather jacket, jeans,
fucking sneakers, yeah.
Fucking Adidas.
So he goes to one of the many costume shops. As we said before, we are in the French Quarter. So he gets a eye mask with basically a very phallic nose and some Shadow the Hedgehog looking wig. The costume is complete.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I think I'll call myself Blowback. So he's becoming an anti-hero with a shotgun that you hold with one hand. I don't know about guns much, but I don't think that's a real firearm.
He's got a sawed off.
Oh, okay. Oh, never mind. You're right. That's what he was doing. Okay.
Also, I love that he's like the fucking Punisher to Foreskin Man's Captain America or something like that. And so he tracks down Dr. Mutilator. Which how? How does he know that Dr. Mutilator is there?
This does remind me very much of Civilian Justice, because he's out here. I got the phone number to your cabin where you're staying from your assistant. I told her I was an old colleague of yours. He's not even a fucking doctor anymore. Why has he got an assistant?
Yeah, also, why, if he's on the run, why would his assistant give his address or anything to him?
No, he's not. He's out on parole. It's one of those, he's he's in that Project Paperclip pocket, he's he's been released and now he's living his best life.
Now he's working for the U.S. government.
He's trying to make more skin cream. Okay, yeah, we get to the end here. I'm here to deliver justice. He surprises him in his kitchen. Let me guess, you must be one of my former patients. Say goodbye, Eric. Next panel is a Foreskin Man. Do you really want to go through with this, Donovan? Again, Foreskin Man just knows this guy. Very weird. Sky told me what you were planning. We followed you here. Again, name dropping everybody. Assume him and Sky used to have a thing.
Well, I mean, honestly, Foreskin Man was probably fucking this dude's girlfriend, because this dude has he's got a pregnant girlfriend, right? And I love how Foreskin Man's contacts, all of his contacts, like you said before, are just women he's been banging on the side. They're just random. The nurse at the hospital told me. This dude's pregnant girlfriend. He's like, bro, you're about to raise my child right now. Can't let you die.
Oh my god. He looks out the window, and Sky has come with Foreskin Man to stop him, and she's standing outside. At which point, Dr. Mutilator turns into Dr. Mutilator. He goes, I think this is all very touching, but I think someone's water is about to break. So we're now in some insanely parody satirical level. This is Battle Poke fucked up. This is weird, but it's not being treated as a joke at all. It's this pregnant woman is about to have a baby, and he's gonna fucking take out the foreskin immediately. Very creepy.
Yeah, he's trying to get in there quick.
Very quick. Relax, you're still a few weeks early. I'll have to do an epistomy.
Episiotomy.
We're not parents, in case you couldn't tell. Anyway, Foreskin Man hits him with the shovel. These fights are always over very quick.
Yeah, Foreskin Man hits him with the shovel.
Sorry, I love you. So he retires, Blowback. I guess I have to decide who I want to be, a vigilante killer or an intactivist dad. What the hell? It's worth a shot. He chooses to be a father.
Jeez. He chooses to be an intactivist dad.
I know, probably would have better just shot that guy and gone to prison. Better for everybody.
I don't know what's worse.
If this guy's gonna freak out every time he sees a pregnant woman, something does need to be done. Honestly, he shouldn't have been on the streets. I'll give him that. That is every comic that has ever been produced by Matthew Hess. Strange strange time getting through all that.
Yeah, it's so weird that last one, because it is like,
Yeah.
it's like it does kind of come full circle, but it's also like Matthew Hess has got some like weird, like, if it wasn't, it's not just the racism, like he's got some weird fucking shit he's working out through this. If like this is like a revenge fantasy that he has about confronting the doctor who like circumcised him as a child, like it's so weird. And like that's the thing with this, is like there's like, it is very much like one dude's extremely specific and weird perspective on a very kind of niche issue, you know? And he's very passionate about it. He takes it very seriously.
Again, anyone who puts a comic out in the world, dude, like obviously that's a ton of work. So that's Foreskin Man. Before we wrap this up today, we do have a mystery to solve. We do got to talk about 2012. What year is it?
2011 is when the bill.
2011. Whatever happened to the MGM bill, and what the fuck happened to Matthew Hess? So Matthew put out this comic. He's also doing a lot of other media at the same time. He's got some trading cards, and whenever a pack of trading cards drop, he will put out a YouTube video, and he will go through the trading cards one by one on a wooden table with no music in the background. It's very jarring, very strange.
And also, well, why do that when you have music?
Yeah, just like recycle the music, man. What's your favorite Foreskin Man track, Ethan? What did you like?
I do like Intactivista, but Foreskin Man by Vulva Girl is also very funny and weirdly like 80s. It feels like the theme song too, like if this was a fucking cartoon show.
Yes. Actually, we'll play a little sample here.
While you're out saving boys from the knife, I can't help feeling lonely in my life. I know it's a calling that must be answered. They're not the only ones who need to be pampered. I get relief from knowing you put cutters away, but a girl still needs time for foreplay. When the dark and morning are behind bars, let me help you forget about those scars.
The song is basically just about like wanting to fuck Foreskin Man, which is crazy to think about, like if you sat down to watch Spider-Man the animated series and like the theme song, like Spider-Man, his dick works. he's intact. That's no lie. Anything else you want to say about the music?
No. Bangers.
Every single one. Man.
Didn't do anything good for the cause. So this bill, first filed in 2011, rejected, brought back. It was in the House. It was submitted to Congress in 2014.
Or like the San Diego Congress.
There were also like state MGM bills, right? This one was a part of like the one in California. There were also ones none in Kentucky.
Oh, they know better than to show up around here.
Massachusetts was a big one that was going on for a while.
Massachusetts, Matt was actually involved with a little bit. He like showed up to the hearing or something like that.
But it seems like a lot of the bills eventually just expire and never get passed anywhere.
Yeah, because no one's gonna fucking get behind it, obviously.
Exactly. It is very kind of toxic, due in part to like the ties to like religious and like cultural aspects of this, which is something that's exemplified by Foreskin Man, right? It not only killed this bill, but it damaged the entire movement as a whole. So like there's 2014 documentary called The Dickumentary, where Matthew Hess appears in a segment where they're talking about this bill in San Francisco in 2011 and Foreskin Man, I guess, effect on the campaign.
And it's not just from his point of view. There's other people who are affiliated with the bill talking about what happened after the backlash from Foreskin Man issue 2 came out.
Though, yeah, the whole, like, anti-Semitic angle of it was definitely not lost on anybody. And there's a interview that Hess did in 2011 after this kind of, like, backlash, after the ADL released a statement about it specifically. He did an interview where he talks about how, I mean, that's the thing, is like he distances himself so much from the, like, he's like, no, I'm not racist, but, or I'm not anti-Semitic, but
He does the classic line that somehow, seems more popular than ever. It's just the like, oh, well, I say the same things about everyone equally. He's like, well, I did all these other like fucked up characters of like a cultural practice. Like, why would I do anything different if they're Jewish? Like he doesn't get it, or he's tricked himself.
Like, that's the
I
thing,
don't
is
know.
like he speaks with so much like conviction that it seems like he is not willing to admit that he has, which makes it even that much weirder, where he's just like, no, I'm not racist, I just like really believe
Yeah,
it. Like,
yeah.
he can't see how, like, because there's a part where they're in this interview, they're like, hey, like, do you notice that this guy is like blonde haired, blue eyed, and all the villains have like
Yes.
darker complexions?
Yes.
And then he says, Foreskin man's blonde hair, blue eyes, and fair skin reflect my own German heritage. I see absolutely no reason to be ashamed of that. Suggestions in the media that Foreskin Man is a Nazi because of the color of his hair is pure racial stereotyping. And Monster Moyle, Yarrick, and Jorah were drawn based on photographs of actual Moyles.
Matthew Hess was ahead of his time.
In the worst ways. And he's like, he does the whole of like, wow, religion is a hot button issue, but like, I'm willing to stand up and be criticized for whatever, because I like it. He's so fucking up his own ass about this fucking thing.
The way he does the interviews is very like, probably not as aggressive in person, but like his trains of logic are very like Tucker Carlson-y. Like, oh, well, that's actually racist that you would say he looks like a Nazi,
he's very just haughty about the whole thing, and like he's just so like convinced that he's right, that like he has no respect for anybody else or anybody else's like opinions about it. And like, going off of this, do you want to talk a little bit about the fucking Captain Israel thing?
Absolutely not. Yes. I think this was just an image I found that I think just kind of made clear how big this was for a minute. There's a guy who still posts online. He posts a lot about comic books. I'm not going to say his name because he might be fucked up. Who knows? But he's got this comic called Captain Israel, and Captain Israel would do all of the things that you would think that he would get up to. So that's kind of his propaganda comic. And after Foreskin Man came out, he put their two propaganda comics into one image together. So it's kind of Captain Israel over here, like talking to Foreskin Man and just telling him what a dumb piece of shit he is. Yeah. You can check that one out for yourself.
And it, like what we had said before, it's not just like the anti-Semitism, it extends to like all the cultures that he is like looking at, and like he has a very like shallow understanding of like any part of any of this. Like, it seems like he's just very attached to the whole like circumcision bad thing, and then the people that do circumcision are bad. And it's a very weird, I mean, obviously this guy was very affected by his circumcision.
Yeah. Let me
guess.
speak on that. I'm on the verge of getting self-conscious as the resident Southern person to try to like humanize this man, but I do think that this deserves to be read. This is from someone's like 2013, so pretty right before Matt's disappearance. He's got an essay. If you were circumcised, are you a victim? It's just a man who interviewed Matthew about his feelings about circumcision after the controversy and all that. ... And that's when it starts to seem like a violation, not only of an important norm, but of the body himself. That's certainly how it seems to Matthew Hess, one of the most controversial personalities in contemporary intactivist movement. ... Skipping ahead. Like me, Hess didn't realize he was circumcised until college. During a hazing or initiation ritual in which everyone got naked, he was disturbed when only one of the men was called out for being an uncut rebel, and it wasn't him. Hess tried to put the incident out of his mind. Later, though, he noticed a loss in sexual activity, which he attributed to the lack of protective foreskin. That's when he used to think about himself as a victim. I guess everyone loses their innocence eventually, he told me, but that's a very traumatic way to lose it. To know that it's okay to mutilate another person and look the other way and not care about that person's feelings about what happened to them. That last bit, not so important. That's normal, like intactivists speak. That first bit, very personal and very spooky.
I feel like he was definitely more traumatized by that fucking hazing ritual than he was like the actual circumcision, I feel like.
I know, he didn't even fucking think about it. Something fucking happened to this guy in college, dude.
This article does also a good job of like, because he talks to him about like the racial overtones and stuff like that are throughout the thing. It's pretty good. I love the fun at the very end. He says circumcision hurts some people, but we can't pretend it doesn't bring joy to others. For those of us who are circumcised and wish we weren't, we can try to keep it in perspective. When I first heard the intactivist argument, I didn't realize I was circumcised. My foreskin confusion was a Trojan horse that allowed anti-circumcision ideas to march into my mind completely unopposed. I never made it one of my major political issues, but when I thought about it, which I often did, I felt powerless, diminished, and incomplete.
Which is like, he's just kind of being like, have you tried to not be depressed about it? Which like,
yeah.
But for him, it's like, yeah, it's like, oh, maybe it's a phase. You just don't know how it's going to affect someone. So actually, maybe, yes, he's a racist piece of shit. But is this whole thing just a PSA about how fraternities are bad for you? Like what happened to him? I don't know. He got jealous of someone with foreskin during a fucking hazing ritual.
I mean, it's so weird because obviously has this very he has a complex about it, but like throughout it seems like a lot of like the intactivist movement and like rhetoric is a lot. It makes people feel like this dude, he didn't even realize he should feel bad about it until somebody told him that he should feel bad about it, you know. And I feel like so much of this, like the rhetoric is about like, hey, you know, you're a fucking victim, which is kind of, it's weird. And like we talked a little bit about, there's this good paper that you found about like foreskin man anti-activism. It's 2016.
Let's talk about that.
The male anti-circumcision movement, ideology, privilege, and equity in social media by Amanda Kennedy and Lauren M. Sardi, both PhDs. Yeah, so this one, they draw a pair outside of like kind of like the medical history, like the cultural implications of like Foreskin Man and the characters in it, and like the cultural insensitivity, right? They do make an interesting parallel between intactivists and like men's rights activists and the kind of like manosphere, because like this is kind of pre like Tate, Joe Rogan kind of shit, you know? Or like this is before like this was back when Joe Rogan was fun, before he was like, before he got weird, you know?
I think even maybe in 2016, definitely in 2011, like men's rights, always bad, always bad. There's no time that it's good, but I do think it's fair to say like 2011 like do strike me as a lot more. It was like, it's kind of just like a whinier time in history. Oh, we're victims too. Men's right in 2025 is like, we're victims too, and we should be able to beat who we want to reinsert ourselves, you know?
So in this paper, they talk about the triangular model of men's rights themes, right? So there's institutionalized privileges, right? Men's institutionalized privileges, the costs of masculinity, and then the differences and inequalities among men. And then, so the whole intactivist, very male specific, like terrain is right in the middle of all of those things. And here this paper talks about how it has a potential to like negatively affect or like inhibit the progress of like their social movement, right? Because so much of it is tied to something that is about masculinity. And also they use things like comparing it to female like genital mutilation, that it feels very all lives matter or what about white pride day kind of stuff, you know, where it's just like you can't really equate these two things. Like these are not the same as each other.
All the things that we said, she fucks around a lot less. I think she does a very like good job of like pinning down just like just what Miles Haswick like represents as a character and how he reads to the majority of the people on Earth, and like what type of person like be one unaware of that and two defensive of that.
And I feel like that's the thing with this too, and with the comic in general, like the audience that it's playing to, it's either people that already agree or people that don't know about this, and it's literally just like a publicity stunt. Part of it is offensive for engagement, very rage baity in a way, and like that's like Hess's attitude in so many of like the fucking interviews and shit is him just being like a fucking haughty bitch about this stuff, you know. He's just like well, like if you know, you know, I'm sorry you don't get it. It's very, and like he was kind of like before, man. If he would have stuck around a little bit longer, man, he could have been plugged in.
Yeah, truly.
You haven't been able to find anything else about him, right?
No, 2013 is about the last time any of his various websites, all of them stop publishing content pretty much at the exact same time. There is, honestly, it's not so clear what his connection was to these bills. There's mgmbill.org. And then there's also the MGM Bill San Diego. Different websites will like list the founder as different people. Whenever it's about Foreskin Man, they will say that Matthew Hess is the founder of this bill. Other times, for instance, CBS will say that it was somebody else. There's like some San Francisco MGM bill. Some of these websites or Facebook groups are still updated. Unfortunately, MGM is also a very famous like casino conglomerate. So a lot of those domains are completely snatched up. So those websites are gone now. Gotten a lot of gambling ads. If you go back far enough in a lot of the photos of these intactivist groups in San Francisco, you'll actually see Matt Hess. I've attached a lot of those photos. He looks like he was there when they turned in the signatures to make it like a real bill. He's there. He was in the room. He was in the room where it happened, without a doubt. He is always wearing 3 shirts, a t-shirt, a button-up, and like a big brown or black corduroy over top of it in every single photo. One of the guys who's credited, or maybe not this guy, but he's credited with being a big part of the bill, Frank McGinnis. There's this random picture of him in a park wearing like the Foreskin Man logo. Past that initial period, he never shows up again. It seems
like they kicked him out, honestly.
It seems like they just kicked him out, yeah.
Because he does give off like that weird guy that's just like hanging around all the time, and then like it brought a lot of negative attention to their movement.
Just about.
So I'm sure they were like, "Bro, get the fuck out of here, dude! Like, god damn it! Like, we shouldn't have been hanging out with you."
You really just got to go off of like very small clues, because his media presence is very on brand. He just wants to talk about the comic, so it's all very boring and just like go read the comic. Every now and then some stuff will skip by. Let me show you. This is from the Foreskin Man #3 trailer. They hate us because we're blonde. He's giving us a clue there. It's all like, I'm just proud of my German heritage. That's a strike, dude. They hate us because they're blonde. He's choosing a way to feel about it, you know? They shut us down in Santa Monica. Is Santa Monica even that close to San Francisco?
Oh, yeah. No. But I think they pose a bunch of different bills in like different cities all throughout like California and then Massachusetts. And
I pictured like his booth got like kicked out or something. They pressured our artist to quit. I think that's the good guy. The guy who started it all and was actually good they pressured artists to quit. He probably just said, "This is fucking stupid. I've drawn 3 of these." He does go on. He does like a couple other Queen Sonia, like some of those like sort of like the B tier long stay, like have been here forever ones. He also has a great YouTube. So I think this guy just.
So yeah, one more shout out, I guess, to Gledson Barreto, right? His name is, I think. He's just got this nice. He's like Brazilian or something, but he's got this. I think this is the guy, but he's got a cute little like comic book review YouTube page where like he just goes through his like omnibus collection and stuff like that. So
he reviews comic books and is smiling the whole time. He also just sells like hella black and white like pinups, like big booby Jean Grey and shit like that. It's a hell of a
get that money.
Hell of a thing.
Get that money, dude.
So if you put this all together, there's every indication to believe that he was kicked out of the movement, and he did keep posting from like 2011, where the controversy really takes out, to 2013. He's still doing interviews. Once number 7 goes out, he's really never seen from again. I think that he embodies a lot the really, really bad parts of intactivism. Just going through his comic, and we get to see that sort of look inside his brain. If you look at the rest of the San Francisco crew, it's kind of like that article was saying about where there's potential for working with other movements and seeing yourself as like part of like a push for like bodily autonomy. The San Francisco intactivists fucking love going to Pride. Like they do it every year and they're having a great time. Yeah, a lot of photos from there. I think like a couple of the guys are like also gay men who are like a big part of the movement. They seemed way chiller than him.
Shout out to Normal Intactivists, because I think there's another like organization just
called
Intact America who are like affiliated with Alan Cumming for some reason, because the guy who played Nightcrawler, because I guess Alan Cumming has a like one-man show about circumcision, like a comedy cabaret circumcision thing that actually sounds hilarious. And I wish Foreskin Man was something more like that, like something fun.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, I guess, on Foreskin Man. For me, hate it. For me, Foreskin Man at its best is charmless, preachy, and insensitive, and at its worst, outright racist and exploitative. Hess tries to convey his stance against circumcision using superhero comic tropes to the detriment of both comics and the intactivist movement itself. His use of racial caricatures and thin plotting exposes the worst of what comics has to offer. In a different world, I could see Foreskin Man as like more of like a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing, like a romp through circumcision discourse where he fights villains like Smegma Face or the Desensitizer, or like any of those other honestly better ideas that we were riffing on going through this comic. But instead we get a fucking self-serious, patronizing series that demonizes the same people and cultures that it frames as victims. Solid 1 Foreskin out of 5, solely for the fake goatee and surprisingly creative logo. So shout out to those.
That's one more foreskin than he has. Foreskin Man. It's our greatest clue into the mind of a guy who otherwise is very much whatever you want him to be. Was he a socially awkward man who found purpose for a short time with other men who shared his pain? A bigot whose massive misstep tanked the momentum of his own group goals. A stubborn asshole who doubled down after being accused of being something that he didn't believe himself to be. Whatever his motivations, Matthew Hess came from a point of view that few of us could very fully understand. And through his own force of will, he created a reflexive, jagged, highly problematic comic that will probably continue to confuse and somewhat amuse people for a long time. There doesn't seem to be too much of the man himself in this comic. Mostly it's a dramatization of the best and mostly the worst of intactivist beliefs. I like to think that maybe, just maybe, he didn't kill himself. And it just made it easier for him to leave it all behind. Cue beach noises. Matt still lives only a couple miles from the beach. East Coast now, and under an assumed name. He's gone full bald, but he doesn't mind. He's getting older. He still stoops a bit. He walks a little calmer than he used to. On days like today, he stares out at the ocean and his mind drifts back to those rough and rowdy days back in San Francisco. Maybe he could have made a difference if he had just tried a little harder. A few more trading cards, a few more dance albums. He had some great ideas for more Foreskin Man villains that would have gotten some movement, some real attention. Fantastic ideas, like Dr.
Are you even listening? Sometimes I don't know where you go off to.
Matt smiles and turns back to the shore. His brown denim shirt has gotten so big that now he has to pull it up past his ankles so that he doesn't track sand into the house. He thinks about everything he has now. A successful tire repair business, a kind and understanding wife, beers and snacks at the bi-weekly Magic the Gathering tournament,
Hey!
sons with... What? You don't like the Magic the Gathering?
Don't bring MTG into this.
The MTG MGM crossover.
Continue.
Sons with foreskins the size of rocket silos. He hadn't mentioned or even thought about his German heritage for so long. Somehow, it didn't even seem so important anymore. He gently took his averagely proportioned wife's arms, and the two of them made their way back to the SUV. He kisses the side of her head, maybe so she doesn't see the last of the sunlight glistening on a small tear. It slides down his wrinkled cheek and silently falls into the top of a cresting wave at their feet. A single drop of salt water, absorbed and carried away into the vast expanse of the sea. Don't worry, he says. I'm all here. We always like to finish these off with a couple recommendations, some other comics that you might like if you were into this one. Ethan, what do you got today?
There is nothing I think that you would like if you like this one. I think this comic is a disgrace to the medium. I will say, like, it's one of those things, too, where it's like, I could see Hess being the kind of guy that sees comics as, like, it's like a cheap medium, and, like, I guess, like...
Means to an end.
Yeah, and it's, like, one of those things that, like, frustrates me about, like, the way that, like, people treat comics, but that's also what makes them very interesting and fun. Instead, I would like to shout out, as of releasing recently, the Batman #2 by Matt Fraction I really enjoyed this week. I've been enjoying Absolute Evil and the Absolute Universe in general quite a bit.
Oh, hell yeah.
Shout out to Assorted Crisis Events, which I reread recently. Dope anthology from Image that just finished their first arc, and the first 5 or 6 issues are in trade now, so fuck with that heavy and read that instead of reading fucking Foreskin Man.
Yeah, I didn't. If I'd thought about it longer, I might have come up with a good joke. I don't know, but there's something very like vagina centric. Read the vagina monologue. No, this one just completely just something completely different. There's a comic called Children of the Black Sun. Do you know Dario? It literally looks like Sicko, Sicchio. This one kind of reminds me of like a 2010s like what is it? 2010. What was The Leftovers? That was like a 2010 HBO, like a HBO drama. There is a eclipse one day, and a lot of women pregnant immaculately, and the children all come out with red eyes and white hair, and there's something kind of wrong with these kids, and there's two children who always have known they're different because of this condition and are trying to deal with it, and they're slowly drawn into this larger group of children who are further along into the conspiracy about what the eclipse was and what actually happened to them. Yeah, it's just fun. Just good fun, slow burn. Gets weirder and weirder as time goes by, but yeah, I like it a lot.
All right. With that,
this has been another episode of Tales from the Gutters. Keep sending us your suggestions for new weird comics. Obviously, we can't be trusted with that choice any longer. Until next week, everyone, stay intacty.
Stay
San Diego.
Got it. I want to do something good now. Please.
Yeah.
I need a palate cleanser. I need a palate cleanser. I'm like...